expensive debt in history. At the same time, the world is sort of splitting into two separate economies. One that's built around dollars and the other one that's built around Chinese capital. Both sides are sort of racing to control the same stuff: energy, microchips, minerals, and the internet. Whoever controls that controls the future. Now, in this game that's being played, China's actually winning. Like, take rare earths, for example. China controls the refining, the processing, the export restrictions, and the licensing. That gives it the ability to say, if you press that reset button, no more rare earths for you, right? That means China controls the pricing power and the ability to weaponize its supply. And it's not just minerals, by the way. China also controls roughly 80% of solar panel production. So the US can't just rely on trade deals or sanctions, because those don't work against a country that controls its own supply chain. So that's why this is happening now. The US can't compete with China in the open market. The US cannot weaponize the dollar against China the way that it does against the smaller economies. And it can't use the reset button, which has historically been war, because that's not a winnable option. The US government knows this. So then how do you fight back, right? So I think what's happening right now is a strategy of, well, if you can't beat them, join them. And that's why the US is buying into the stock market, because it has to. It's building its own version of state capitalism, whether we admit it or not. And that, I think, leads to a more important question, which is, of course, is this good or bad for the average person that lives and invests in the US? And here's my very uninformed opinion, because at the end of the day, I have no idea what's going to happen. But first, I just want to address people that say, well, Andre, this is nothing new, right? This is not the first time that the US gets involved. The US is finally just catching up. And that is true. This is not the first time, because DARPA funded the internet, right? NASA funded space technology. The government's always been involved in one way or another. There's a long history of public money funding private companies. But this time is very different, because the government is not just giving them the money and funding it, it's also now partially owning them. And I think ownership changes the incentive structure. And that's really dangerous, because once you mix politics in with free markets, then it's really hard to see where one begins and the other ends. And I think on the surface, it sounds like a good idea. It sounds patriotic, right? Like we're investing in America's future. But here's the truth.